Hello and welcome to the show. My name's Saladin, along with
Vega.
and welcome to the Torn Page.
Okay, this is part two of our traditional versus digital. I call it an argument. He calls it a debate. I call it a way of life and falling into like a set line of skills now.
You're making me look out to be the bad guy. I didn't say it was debate. I was just listen. Everything has its place. I'm just more on the lines of traditional. And, but to be fair, so is a lot of American comics. Like, yes, you can definitely do from start to finish a whole comic book simply via Photoshop or whatever like tool you do use digitally. But when it comes to like with the big names, when it comes to Marvel and DC, they expect you to have some traditional backgrounds. Like they expect you to be able to, you know, do a 5-page panel like no problem with ease or a sketch or whatever the concept is.
Just at least penciled out.
Penciled out. Oh, definitely. And inking. Oh, they don't play around with that either.
No.
They are like those comic boards. If you ever, well, of course, people go to Comic Con. Obviously, speaking of which, just recently passed.
Yeah.
Like when you're looking at the artist alley work, it's in comic board. It's on comic boards. The stuff that you can buy, like their old works from obviously comics that they've done and worked on, whether it be Marvel, DC, Vertigo, and like any of those. You know, they start from blue pencil, then the pencils, depending on which pencil style they use, or ink or lead, sorry, and then they go to ink, and then after that, then it goes into digital.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Western comics, yeah, I mean, I guess in all comics, they technically do, but with a lot of up and coming, online comics, not so much.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what I was saying like last time. We could like starting having a comic done, start to finish both isn't hard anymore. It's not.
No.
It can all be done, and with so many programs to help you with the shortcuts of doing it, like we could take photos of ourselves and then just switch them over to like a comic style, and that's it. It's pretty much it. You could do a whole comic book just like that.
Yeah.
Which is actually pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Minnesota. Then okay, man, we talked about the pros and cons of doing both, and then getting just like set and like a style.
Yeah.
Style and then form. I was on side of digital because eventually in the professional world, it's all about pumping out work.
Yes, but with that being said, look how many delays even Marvel goes through when it comes to pumping out work.
I know.
Like, come on, bro.
They ain't the manga industry though.
Huh?
They ain't the manga industry though.
It's true, but whoa, no. Don't even start that argument because we both know when it comes to building manga, well, there'll be manga books and Japanese comics or whatever you want to call them, manga. I'm gonna just stick with manga because then I sound like a moron. When it comes to manga, back to my note because you're making me get off track. When it comes to manga, those books are built differently.
Yeah.
And anybody who's a studier of just comic books in general, in terms as a whole, from the time they draw, because it's done by 3 people.
Yeah.
The main artist who's writing the book, or writer, artist, whatever.
Yeah.
Because usually just one person doing it. And
the
2 assistants.
Yeah.
That's it. That whole thing is done by, and most people don't know that actually. They usually have 2 assistants, and they start with the pencils, G pen, and it goes in after that with they have these sheets.
Yeah.
That act like shaders, which are really cool because then you cut them out and then you line them up and then oh my god, yo, the concept of building a manga versus American style comic books is actually pretty different.
I know it is.
Oh yeah, nobody. It is different.
Oh yeah. Side note, guys. If you ever watch Death Note, their like original I guess I'm the creator. Also wrote Bakuman, which is a great insight of the entire manga industry.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bakuman's actually a really good read.
Yeah.
And
it is. It's funny.
Informative to how.
It's informative. It's funny, and then it talks about their entire crazy system.
But that's a whole nother time. That's a whole nother time. Now we'll get into that next week.
Oh yeah, man. But that kind of segues into your point though.
Yeah, there's a difference. But when it comes
check it out if you want to know more about the entire manga industry and have some fun at the same time.
Yeah, definitely check it out. But with that being said, yes, digital has a big place. But I think in terms of how it's managed to stick around, like in terms of how traditional, like traditional in terms of pencil drawings has managed to stick around, it's not that big of a place. It's not, the
Yeah.
king. Because at the end of the day, say if at some point,
In comics, I definitely believe digital is like not king, but I do believe it is on the rise right now.
yeah, I'll give you that.
Oh yeah, man, because
When it comes to freeform expressions,
oh yeah, man, because
if you're not Marvel or
like
DC.
web comics are like becoming like a huge thing. If you go on Comicsology, everything now is from print is getting digitized.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
but then what I will say is that there is always a market for traditional comics, drawn in a traditional way. Because this is my one argument to why print will never die. You need to physically walk into like a bookstore, a comic shop,
Right?
just to like browse.
No,
Do
I love
nothing more than just aimlessly browse. Talking about
No. It's the feel of holding a comic book in your hand.
it's
Listen,
the feel
don't get me
of
wrong.
just like finding something. I got like a nightstand full of comics, graphic novels, stuff like that. I brought over sorry,
Look at you, messing up.
planets. There you go,
This
planets.
thing's huge. You can crush a
It
baby's
is.
skull with that thing.
Yes, I can.
Off of
And
like 2
but
stories.
then I picked it up because I was going through the manga section of like Midtown Comics. I will not tell you the location I was at, but but then just know it did involve beer.
It usually does.
Oh yeah. And then I thought this comic was gonna be like
I gotta check this out.
a lot like Bio Omega, and it is completely not. But then it is still a phenomenal read. And I was not able, and I picked it up because I like the artwork. I didn't know what it was about. I just got attracted to the artwork, the style of it.
You really gotta take a chance when it comes to
Yeah.
when it comes to reading books.
Yeah.
It's not always on the damn artwork. It's not always about the damn artwork.
Oh no. But
No. You have a very bad track record when it comes to reading books. If it doesn't look good, I think people in general have a very bad track record with something like that. You gotta learn to take a chance.
it's a cliche.
Manhattan Project. Take a chance.
It's a cliche, and I plan to.
Take a chance, Mike. That's all I'm asking. One day, take a chance. You didn't read Manhattan Project. You still haven't read it. All because the art style looks like, well, in your opinion, looks like shit. And so many people have told you to read it. I have told you to read it.
Everyone has told me to read the Manhattan Project, and I will get on that.
And that is about as traditional as it gets. With some trippy colors. I'm not gonna lie. Got confused. But you should definitely read it.
I plan to, but then when it comes to the traditional style, definitely comics, 100% king.
Oh yeah.
King. Talking about that, you cannot put together a comic without knowing the fundamentals
I'm drawing, yeah.
of drawing, penciling to inking to lettering.
A lot of art. Sorry to interrupt, but a lot of art students who go into college feel like they shouldn't have to take drawing 101. I shit you not.
Sorry.
No, that's good. No, dude, I'm telling you, a lot of, because I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those students. Like, why am I taking drawing 101? There's no need. You actually learn
I love
a lot.
drawing naked chicks.
You actually end up learning a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the fundamentals that when you look back on it, you're like, damn, I was missing a lot of skills.
Oh no, when you have to sit down, draw a live naked model and shit like that, and
Yes.
and then change up the pose every 60 seconds. It was how fast can you get that form in speed?
Oh yeah, definitely.
speed.
And it all builds up as you go through the years of
Being I was that undeveloped.
Oh yeah. You think you're hot shit in high school,
Yeah.
or even growing up, just man, I can do all this, and you meet
Nah.
other artists or other people who do work,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, so I can get better. But when you start stepping into it professionally, you realize that world's pretty damn big.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to it, I mean, don't get me wrong.
It's big, it's expensive, and it is most of all competitive. So then, you have to separate yourself by style.
Oh yeah, that's true. That and even with style,
Style and pumping and pace of work.
Oh yeah, you can't get too set in your ways when it comes to style either.
Yeah.
Because there's always something new to learn. But with that being said, here's when it comes to traditional for me, and here's why I say that. for people who can't always afford laptops, can't always afford programs, because some programs are expensive. Photoshop is still
Expensive.
expensive. Probably one of the best.
You know, if you want to go
Programs out there, but
if you
it's
want to
still
go
super
on
expensive.
like like the cheaper side, definitely. I know a couple artists right now that still do the pen and paper type gig.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I wish like I can like get mad at them about, but then like I do know because I'm like eventually you're gonna get to that point in like your like career and like just doing side jobs that like okay that like it's like you need to figure out a way how to pump out consistent work. It's good for like like the first two, maybe 3, 5 projects. That's meant to definitely to like I'm gonna stick to your guns. But then when the work begins rolling in on a regular, consistent basis, it's like okay, that like you need to take a hard look and to figure out how to do shit crap faster.
Well, first and foremost, comic illustrators in general, first and foremost, still do it traditionally from the blue line to the pencils right down to the ink, still done traditionally.
They compromise with the backgrounds though.
Huh?
Backgrounds.
Yeah, actually, that's kind of true. They do compromise. You can tell they don't do shit with backgrounds because it's except for even in actually Japanese manga, you can tell they're slowly stepping off from doing backgrounds and mostly focusing on foregrounds, characters, and that's it.
Oh yeah, pretty much. So then like okay, like even these guys are like trying to figure out ways how to pump out more like consistent work. Okay, mangas.
Well, just pump it out fast, not even consistent.
Mangas
it's just faster.
Mangas have like a lot of ghost like illustrators, assistants doing like a majority of the work.
Majority? Yeah, I don't know about majority. Because if you haven't never been on the ground floor of it, the main artist is doing most of the work.
I know.
And they're picking up.
And then like as soon as that they begin developing like a style, like a proper work pace, they begin leaning on the assistants.
Okay, a few of them have. A few of them do lean on the assistants every now and then.
Not everyone could be like Oda.
Or oh great. I don't think he had any assistants when he did Tencho Tenge.
The guy that did what you call it Hajime no Ippo. You can't be the guy that did Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, sometimes you just can't be that guy.
Yeah.
But when it comes to what Western style comics, though, you're pretty much a specialist in one particular thing. So for like if you're the penciler, who's the main title guy, right underneath the writer, you're do the pencils, and depending on how well you're putting it out or how fast you're drawing out that 20 some odd page comic, you'll either have an inker, or if you're fast enough, you could just ink it yourself to keep the work keep the style more consistent. But then there's no evolution of how it looks different compared to the next comic book you do. So it'll usually start out with a penciler, an inker, a colorist, and then even the letterist gets his time to shine.
I remember one time I was on LinkedIn just looking for just a colorist. We don't really use LinkedIn for anything, but then when when it comes to professional networking, and then you need
it.
Certain people for certain things, be like, yo, I'll email you everything, just color it in. I'll pay you $10 a page, $10-15 a page.
Yeah, roughly.
Page. It's yo, do it once, do it twice. No, and even if it is just to try different people out or different styles, you gotta do it.
Yeah.
And then just make sure that they email you back all the swatch palettes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when it comes
I'm talking about per page.
Definitely per page.
Per page, man. Because I actually physically had messed up because I was inexperienced, and when I first put together my comic for college and college and shit, that meant that I forgot to ask for the swatch palettes. Only one other guy in my club at the time asked for it, and then I had to ask him the reason why, and then he told me, be yo, consistency, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, just simple consistency, man. From page to page, just consistency. If you know what colors are used in each page, especially when you're digitizing it, just like I did. And then like even though I only did like black and white, right, and then like he did in a full color, he was probably able to like explain.
Oh yeah, you're
Man,
probably able to do it faster too.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, and then like it took me like a long time to fall into like coloring and then like doing things via digital. But then I understood it all though. I'm just like, okay, pump a consistent work. You save all the colors. You don't have to worry about nothing. You don't have to worry about
That's why that Photoshop save tool for colors is freaking
Yeah.
amazing. Yo, I
Yes,
think
it is.
and a lot of like me, I use Sketchbook Pro and Art Rage. I get to save all the colors that I use for any like project.
Yeah.
So definitely, yeah, saving the palette is easy.
InDesign also has like the same thing.
Oh yeah, they do, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. I don't know why I haven't rocked with that yet. I need to really rock with that sometimes. I'm sorry, I just haven't.
I'm
had
a
the
fan
time.
of like Adobe Illustrator personally, just because of the live trace tools, especially if I'm doing backgrounds.
Illustrator's gotten better. It used to be complex as fuck, but that's a whole nother
Yeah.
story.
I
That
know.
is a whole
I know.
nother story.
Recently it got like user friendly, especially with like CS6, CS5.
Yeah, but on that note, well, I keep saying on that note. Actually, with that being said, and I keep saying that too, when it comes to traditional, there's more. Well, I wouldn't say traditional. You know what? I would say with the difference between Western and Eastern style is there is more group effort when it comes to building comic books versus manga.
Individual effort.
But with that being said, I mean, at the end of the day, you're always gonna find someone who needs those technical skills, man. And don't get me wrong, I'm a fan. The things digital can do at such a consistent and quicker pace, it's great. But it lacks some feeling to it.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. If you ever read Extremis, Iron Man, just before what was it, 2005?
Yeah.
I forget the guy who did the art for it. Ada Gof. I forget his name. It'll come to me. I'll most likely put it in there somewhere. But from start to finish, nothing was drawn. Nothing. All digital. And he did amazing work. But it felt a little lifeless, though. It was. Don't get me wrong. I love the story. I love the overall look and style of it. It was different. It was very unique at the time when it came to comics, just before Civil War got released. But it did feel a little lifeless to me.
Because he was one of the first people on that forefront, being like, okay, I could do things faster, easier.
Oh yeah,
easier. Talking about he was one of the first people, and I remember that. Clear as day. Everyone was stuck in like the mid 2000 ruts of doing everything in the traditional way. When like people realized that like he was technically putting out work faster than all of his competition.
Well,
at
his
Marvel.
coworkers anyway. Yeah, he's
Marvel.
definitely putting this shit out faster than his coworkers. I mean, don't get me wrong, because once you do that first page,
and then that was his year.
Yeah.
I swear to God. I never seen an
blew up.
artist.
He blew up after that in terms of.
He blew up.
But you know what? It is funny though. Even though he does most of his work digitally like that, he still does. The last article I read about him was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He still does a lot of his work, with pencil. I wouldn't say a lot of his work, but he still definitely does practice with pen and paper.
Okay. I will confess, I've read like a lot of articles on this. Pros, cons. To like pretty much played like devil's advocate with like myself opposed from him.
What?
Oh, opposed from him. But
Just
then
hurtful.
All
the time.
But then when it comes to, like digital comics and then like using any digital mediums like build comics, your work does become less original because you were using like a lot of references. So then we all fall into that category of your work not becoming like original.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong.
And then everyone's set in like a certain style that they use certain backgrounds, certain colors, certain this, certain that.
I think people use references when they're building a style overall, but they do tend to build a more unique style based on their hands, rather than digital. Because with digital, you could fix it, and with your hands, as much as you try to fix it,
that undo button is God.
Yeah, that undo button is everything to me. What? Erase? But with
redo.
Yeah.
Just double check your work.
Yeah, but when it comes to actually having to do it with your hands, your physical hands, and yes, I'm not saying because there are still a lot of people. Clayface, he does everything he does on digitally with his hands.
Yeah.
But he still
But-
leans on
Oh,
a
no.
lot of what he like colors, fixtures, his fixes. He still relies digitally.
Oh no. Oh man, but then man, when it comes to like man, a Clayface, man, regardless if you're doing it on like a tablet with like a pen, and that like oh, you don't get those variations and like lines
Yeah,
as
you
well
don't.
as like you don't. So then like everything looks incredibly flat.
Yeah.
Until like you color it.
That's true.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So then it's all about developing like a style. I mean, learning the fundamentals are there for like a reason. Drawing 101, stuff like that to like you like do your senior project. It's all there. There for like a reason.
I miss college, but I don't miss it that damn much. I don't. They made me work hard. I really don't miss it too much.
Yeah.
It was nice though.
Yeah, it was.
Except for doing Photoshop. No, I take that back. Photoshop was fun. Illustrator at the time was hard. I legitimately wanted to punch a hole through the laptop. Just
I still am and forever
I think
will always
traumatized
hate
by that.
photography.
how do you hate photography? Everything's digital with photography. You literally.
No.
You know what?
Oh.
With
I like
a nice camera, you can build. Pretty much do anything.
I know. Oh no. But then at the time when I was learning it, I just hated it. But man, because I was like a lot more into different styles.
Oh, you should try using my old camera that still runs on film. You hate it. You'll hate that shit then.
No. Okay, man, give me like an art problem to solve. Give me like a brand new technique to like develop. I'm like fine. But then like I was learning everything in a more traditional style, especially first when like I began going to like class for like art. Okay, that they physically made me like draw fucking blocks, and then like post it up on different parts of the Bristol pad.
Oh yeah.
And then like it
That's
taught
so
me
effing
how to
boring.
how to work with like paint and
Yeah,
wash and stuff
yeah.
like that. But then like I look back on it now, I'm just like I understand it now. It was all about placement, just like life drawing was all about developing quick refined technique. So then
I'm glad you're learning, Mike. I'm glad. I feel better now.
I want to kill you.
I know most people do actually. I'm not a very liked person.
I know you are. I'm surprised that we're even friends. Sometimes.
You know what? You love me. Shush. Everybody loves me. I'm the
Man, we
greatest
both
there
want to kill
ever
each other
was.
sometimes.
That
Yeah.
actually is true. That's a lot. Man, we're just. I don't know how it worked out, but it did.
Yeah.
And we're here.
Man,
now.
we could barely work with each other, man, because he's getting pissed off every time I cook. And then
I can't help it.
and then it's same vice versa. I'm getting pissed off every time he cooks. And then man, we both ain't mad at each other. Man, we're just mad.
Yeah, we're just mad.
Mad.
We're just mad. I don't know what it is. We're
I don't
just
know,
mad.
man. Pissed off people just attract, I guess.
Who knows why?
I
But
don't
it
know
does
anymore.
happen. It does. But yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, traditional.
Man, we got
always
work and
gonna
anger
have-
issues right now.
Yeah, traditional's always gonna have a place.
Yeah,
It's always
yeah.
gonna have a place. Digital,
Man, the digital is on the rise for like consistency, but then I could find it falling short of like traditional,
oh yeah,
especially in comics though.
yeah, it definitely. Is.
And the story. Men are right there. Yeah. It all comes down to unique style and multiple styles.
Yeah, that's
Styles.
true.
Digital right now, it's getting there, especially with the brand new technology being like developed to make it more unique. But like the technology still ain't there yet.
Yeah, it isn't. It's getting there though. Like
It's
at least
getting there
getting
within like next 2, maybe 3 years. It
Yeah, at
is.
some point you're gonna be hitting those limits as to what more can you really do with it.
Yeah.
But for right now, it's
Man,
it's
right
in a
now-
very good spot.
Man, right now that they're trying to simulate pen and paper.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, man,
Yeah.
pen and paper. When like they could do that to such a finite point that like it doesn't really matter if I'm drawing on paper or on the computer, I'll be 100% with it. But then until then, I gotta go traditional. Just for comic books. Comic books ain't there in like digital yet. They're on the rise to digitizing it.
I feel like speaking of comics, I feel like we should expand our repertoire a little bit when it comes to just comics. I feel like we got a small cult following, but we should definitely spread our wings a little bit more. But that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think you did it. I proved my point. I think I proved my point with
At least in comics.
at least in comics. Yeah, 'cause that's the only real thing that ever really mattered to me in life anyway. At least in comics.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But then like as soon as you go into like advertising stuff like that, I 100% say like digital.
Which we probably should do a show on at some point.
So then, what like I would say is like join us for like part 3 of like a little or like little
Do you even know what to call it? Because I technically won.
I'm gonna be like McGregor in this.
Yeah, I know. Everybody does. Now you're making them feel awkward. You're making them feel awkward.
I'm replacing you with Solid Light very shortly.
You know what? Not gonna happen. I'm still gonna be here doing the same show with you every day, every week, and some other stuff. I
Wanna
don't
bet?
even know that No. Not really. Not really. I don't want to take that chance at all.
Yeah.
But yeah. But join us next week when we're gonna focus mainly on manga.
Manga and an ultimate conclusion.
Yes.
So like digital versus like traditional, or vice versa. If whatever the hell that floats your boat.
Or both. They should be able to have both.
Yeah, they can.
They should.
They should, and it is highly recommended that like you should have a foot in all mediums, at least to understand the basic principles behind it.
All mediums.
I understand photography just because I hated it so much, but like I needed to understand what it could be used for.
You're never gonna get over that.
No,
Jesus.
I still don't get over it.
You know what? We're done. We're just done. Don't worry about it. Until next time, that's the show.